Once the coffee is roasted as per the standards, the roasted coffee is then also weighed as per the Specialty Coffee Association standards. It is 8.25 grams for 150 ml. So we have our cupping glass, which is around 290 ml. So we are going to take 14 grams per each cup for our evaluation. For every sample, we use 5 cups for our quality evaluation purpose.
Okay. So it all is weighed very precisely, not 1 gram up and down.
Once the roasted coffee is precisely weighed, all the 5 cups will have now equal quantity of coffee. So the coffee to water ratio while brewing is very, very important for us to understand the nuances in coffee, because we keep things standard, like the roast color, the grind size, the quantity of coffee and water, the coffee to water ratio, the water temperature. So all these are as per the standard. So everything is kept standard, so that the only variant will be the coffee itself. So the coffee will give the nuances very clearly when we keep all the other parameters, variables as standards. Only variation here is coffee. So now the next step is to grind the coffee. The coffee is ground again as per the standards, not very fine, not very coarse. So the next step of evaluation is to pour water. So the water that we are going to pour is not 100-degree boiling water. For any coffee brewing method, it is always advisable to use water between 90 to 96 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So this process is called steeping. So all the 5 cups, now we have poured the water. So the first stage what we did was fragrance.
Okay.
Now it is wet aroma. So Sandeep will be showing you how to evaluate the coffee for its wet aroma. So after 4 minutes of steeping time, so we move the crust to actually smell the aroma again. So this is the third stage of smelling the coffee, taking the aroma and understanding it. So again, it is done with the spoon 3 times front to back. The fragrance and these 2 stages of wet aroma, we recheck for all the aromatic volatiles in coffee, which actually gives us more idea about the coffee. And we then start scoring it on this scorecard. So we have a separate scoring pattern for Arabica and separate for Robusta.
So we are not even mixing a coffee which is there in the spoon to 1 cup to another cup.
Yeah, so we are supposed to wash it every time. Then we use our spoon for a cup.
Okay.
The next stage of evaluation is to taste the coffee. So for tasting, we take a spoonful full of the liquor and then we slurp it. So when slurping, the volatiles in the coffee is aromatized and it is sprayed in the organoleptic sensory apparatus, and then it reaches, it gives us the information. So far, we have seen how coffee is evaluated by coffee cupping protocol. This is basically generally done by coffee cuppers,
Okay.
which is more human touch for the evaluation. So now I'll take you to the instrumentation part. So we have electronic nose, electronic tongue, and all that will actually help us. So those equipments cannot replace us, but they generally help us, complement us, support us in evaluating and understanding the coffee.
It's very interesting. So we have something electronic nose also, what we're going to see now.
Yeah.
And the tongue.
Yes. This is the instrumentation lab that I was talking about. So we have a secured system in place. So we have our electronic nose, tongue, and also a particle size analyzer. Come.
Wow. It's a full-fledged lab.
This is our electronic nose. So the electronic nose works with the principle of gas chromatography. So when we receive samples, So the samples we can use either coffee powder or brewed coffee. So all these can be used as samples, and those samples will be loaded in these vials.
Okay.
So this vial, there are 60. This thing you can keep 60 samples at a time.
Okay.
So and once coffee is loaded here, so this is a robotic arm. So the robotic arm will move in this particular area.
So does all the companies have got this kind of high-tech lab, ma'am, or the growers?
This is one of the state-of-the-art laboratory, which is one of its kind, we can say, in Asia,
Okay.
all Asia. So we have a specified lab for coffee with all this high throughput equipments all in one place, and we also give service. So we saw now electronic nose, electronic tongue. So when we receive sample, we evaluate it and give it as a service to the people in the value chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone who is sending the sample, it
Yeah.
will get evaluated here also.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So they can get their coffees tested for its cupping. They can get an electronic nose report, aroma profile report, and also electronic tongue report. So we also have integration of these two. We also can give an integrated report to the consumers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This is the particle size analyzer. This is used to understand the grain size, particle size in a coffee powder. So, and also the particle size distribution, whether it is how fine it is, how coarse it is, and how all the grounds are there, how the particles are distributed in a sample. So this is very useful for roasted and ground coffee segment to understand their quality of the grind quality of their product.
So is grind size really important, ma'am?
Yeah, grind size is very, very important, not only for the product, for also for the brewing. So each of the brewing method, their grind size will differ. So for that purpose also, we get samples to understand which grind size is good for which brewing method, and it is very, very important for brewing coffee. Grind size is very important.
Okay.
Yeah, fine. So this is a coffee gas pycnometer, also called densitometer. This is used to understand the density of the coffee in a more accurate way. This uses gas, helium gas, which is an inert gas, for getting the accurate density readings. This is generally used to understand the green bean density in a grower's perspective. So it is said that the denser the bean, the better the quality. Better the aroma characters and flavor profile.
Okay.
Apart from that, density also plays a vital role in how the coffee is getting roasted. It's how it is ground. So for that purpose, the people like roasters are also coming forward to understand the density of their coffee.
Okay.
So that's
So moisture is also considered.
moisture and density both are important when we do roasting or grinding or creating blending. For all that, equally both moisture and density is important. So both parameters are important for coffee to get proper roasting. Yeah. This is Actron coffee color analyzer.
Okay.
So I think when we did the roasting, we said coffee is roasted, when we do cupping, the coffee is roasted as per the standards. So how do we know the standards? How the coffee, because everything is brown. So now what is that brown color that is required for our purpose, be it cupping, or even if we want dark roast, how do we know it's a dark roast? So this works on spectrophotometer principle, like it will understand the different shades of brown, to put it simply. So we keep the sample here in the tray. So this tray, and we close it, and it gives us the color reading. So each of the reading is corresponding to a particular color as per the standards.
So in this also specific weight we have to
Fill the tray.
Okay.
The tray has to be fully filled. So you can test both roasted whole bean and also powder coffee color of the coffee powder. Both it can test, and it can give us the value.
Okay.
So the more the value, it's lighter.
So how does it give the value? Like, is it a report?
It's a number.
Printed or
It's a number. So we get a number called Actron color value.
okay.
So we go for Actron color value and check the color value for our cupping.
Okay.
This color value universally accepted, like
For cupping standards, because for cupping it has to be in a ideal color. Yeah. So that color is universally accepted. So again, that comes under Specialty Coffee Association standards.
All right. And this gives an average of all the beans.
Yeah, it gives the average color of all the beans that we are taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the water activity meter. Since we already spoke about moisture, this water activity meter will give us a different perspective, which is more towards the free water that is available for the microorganisms to grow.
Okay.
It's not very equivalent to moisture. It correlates to moisture, but it is not the same. So water activity is more specific. It is more scientific. And there are some countries like Japan where they insist on the water activity report,
Okay.
because it gives you the clear idea on the shelf life of the coffee.
Okay.
So the more the water activity, then the coffee is about to get contaminated. It's like that. So the lesser the water activity, it means the life in the coffee is going out. So the embryo is starting to die, and it can turn woody and all that.
Okay.
So ideal, yeah.
So all these reports, it will be helpful for the growers also to export, and even
Yes.
for the brands also to store.
Yes, very correct. A brand can decide which bag of coffee can be roasted first.
Yes.
So the more the water activity, he can quickly take it and roast it. So 2 bags can have same moisture, but 1 bag can have more water activity. So he can just quickly take it and roast it and decide upon it.
Okay.
So that's where water activity plays a very, very important role. So many countries have started asking for water activity and moisture both.
Okay. So if someone wants to just get this report, they can get this report also.
Yeah,
on
they
for
can
water
opt
activity.
for only water activity and get it tested. It costs around 350 rupees.
Okay.
So
For the report.
500 rupees.
All right. Okay.
The green coffee is filled in the vial and it is placed here,
Okay.
and this is a closed chamber.
Okay.
So it works on dew point mirror. So that's a principle. So after closing, when we switch this, so that's how it starts.
Okay.
So this is the on button.
All right.
So it's looking very small, but it's very vital for understanding the shelf life of coffee.
So do you offer any courses, like for person like me, if I want to learn about coffee, like coffee testing or cupping or something, like if I want to make a course in the coffee board, is it offering any courses?
Yes, we at the Coffee Quality Division offer quite a few courses. We have 3 popular courses, if I can call it so. I'll start with the postgraduate diploma in coffee quality management, what we host at the Coffee Board. It is a 1-year course for a postgraduate person who's finished his basic undergrad degree. It has to be a science degree because coffee has a lot of chemistry at the end of the day. So we look for somebody who has a chemistry background. And
PSc in chemistry.
BSc, it needn't be chemistry as one of his subjects.
Okay.
It can be any life science kind of a science stream, but chemistry as one of his subjects during his undergrad. That's all we look for. We have an all India entrance. We advertise for these courses once a year, and we get a huge number of applications, and 15 out of them from across India come and do this course for 1 year, where it's divided into 3 trimesters. So we have 1 trimester, that is 3 months at CCRI, that's our Central Coffee Research Institute, where we have our research farms as well, where they learn all aspects of the farming aspects of coffee, all the way up to post-harvest. Beyond post-harvest, they come here. The next 6 months they spend at Bangalore at the Coffee Quality Division, where we take them through the entire process post-harvest.
So the student will be staying in-house to learn.
We don't have a hostel facility here, but at CCRI we provide hostel facilities and a small mess facility. In Bangalore they find their own accommodation, but they come in on a daily basis. It's a full-time course. Monday to Friday they are here. we take them through all the aspects post-harvest, like how I just did for you all in the morning. We start all the way from the green beans because they've already done the milling at the farm level. We do the green beans. They, at the end of the course, end up becoming quality specialists who are well versed all the way from cupping to grading coffees. They are also taught on trade aspects of coffee. It's not only the coffee board staff which takes classes, we have industry experts and experts from various fields coming and taking sessions. They're actually put through a live trade.
So
Where
it's
they
basically theory and practical together, hand
Yes,
in hand.
it's hands-on.
Yeah.
From clearing your logistics to exports to your brewing to your cupping to your physical assessment. So they fit into all aspects in the coffee ecosystem and can cater to the sector. This was a demand from the sector and we started it in 2002 and we're still continuing it on a yearly basis. Very popular course. Our students are doing extremely well for themselves. All 15 of them before they finish the course are placed. Although we don't promise any placements, the industry comes to us, picks them up, and they're working in various curing houses, export houses, cafes, be it on the farm, in the processing and the quality aspects. There are some people who have gone on and set up huge enterprises like equipment businesses in the coffee sector, coffee equipment, various things they're doing. And we're very proud of the course and our students mainly. And it's validation for what we do and how it's catering to the industry. This is one course. Other than that, this is a course where I said you need a science degree and you need chemistry as one of your subjects. For any layman who wants to do a course, we offer another program called the Kapi Shastra Training Program at the Coffee Quality Division. Yeah, it is a 5-day program. It's a 1-week program where anybody can register. We put it out on our websites. You register online. We also have an app now called the India Coffee app where you can register for the course. You come in, we limit the numbers to about 25 per batch. It's a 5-day course where we take them all aspects of coffee, very basic, very overview course. We give them an overview of the coffee growing areas, what are the changing trends in the coffee sector, then bring them into the green bean grading classification, a little bit of the basic aspects of roasting. Then we even dwell into a little more on the mechanism behind the roaster and how it basically, the whole process is there.
So this course will be for a beginner to start.
It's more an overview which opens your eyes into what you can do in coffee.
And it doesn't have any eligibility criteria. Anybody who wants to learn or get into this industry.
Anybody can come in. So it's a very popular course again. It's an overview course which is sought after. It fills up like this. Within a day, the course is full. It started around 2002 and it's ongoing. We do it on a bi-monthly basis. We don't have a fixed calendar per se, but it keeps happening as and when we are free to a small extent. Again, we have guest lecturers coming in to take small sessions. We take majority of the sessions at the top.
How many people do you people accept for particular course?
25 per batch. So we run at least 4 batches a year. So on an average, we're churning out about 100 people who've gone through the course on an average. This course, like I said, is an overview, covers all aspects coffee. We put them through drills of cupping, understanding roasting better. We take them to a roaster outside of our premises, show them how a commercial roaster works, how white labeling works, because these are all things an entrepreneur who wants to get into the coffee space will look forward to. Then we bring them back, we take them through all aspects of grinding, all aspects of brewing. You see all the brewing equipment here. All the manual brews as well as your espresso based beverages are taught. Some of them who are good end up even pouring a good latte art at the end of the course, which gives them that confidence and that interest in brewing coffee. Then we take them through brief aspects of how to get into exports, because exports also is of interest. We also show them about the entrepreneurial opportunities what are existing in coffee. We have an Atal Incubation Center, like you all know. We also take them there for a tour to understand what they can basically avail services from there and how they can become an incubator over there and incubate their ideas per se. So this is what a Kapi Shastra program is.
So Coffee Shastra program will give a certification in the end.
Yes. All these courses, you will get a certificate from the Coffee Board, from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, signed by our CEO and Secretary himself. These, although it's not a university per se, you still get a Coffee Board certificate, which is, I think,
It's an honor,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
It's more a learning opportunity rather than looking at the certificate per se. And
These courses happens in Bangalore.
it happens in Bangalore. The PG diploma, like I said, 3 months at CCRI, 6 months here. Kapi Shastra has an in-house course, so it happens here at the quality division in Bangalore. Other than this, from the past 3 years, 2.5 years, we've initiated another program. Again, because of the industry demand, they said there is a shortage of baristas. A barista is a person who actually brews your coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a shortage in the sector, and you all should do something about it. So we said, okay, let's conduct a barista training program. This is a pan-India barista training program.
Okay.
We have a set of 3 trained baristas now. We had 4, we have come down to 3. 3 baristas who go across the country. We have a mobile kit with an espresso machine, all the manual brewing equipment. We do a 5-day intensive barista training course where a barista is taken all the way from the green beans to the roasting in very basic sense, and then hands-on the espresso machine and the manual brewing methods. This has again become quite popular. We've already covered about 750 participants. Our intention here is to basically skill people, youth, to have a skill which they can use, and of course at the end of the day gain employability. In foreign countries, a lot of the students, when they go to study in universities, end up becoming baristas. So this, in a way, with the expanding cafe culture and the micro roasters cropping up, there's a dearth for these baristas, and we want to cater to that. So we are aggressively skilling. Coffee Board's role is slightly changed from what it was. In the early 90s, the market was liberalized between 94 to 96, wherein before liberalization, all the coffee produced in the country had to be sent to Coffee Board. It would be pooled here and marketed from here. Post 94-96, once the markets became liberal, the Coffee Board's role slightly changed. We were no more a regulator or a marketing entity which marketed all the coffee. We had to tweak to become more of a facilitator for the entire sector. So our role now is more of a facilitator, and then of course we are doing all these skilling programs. We are aggressively skilling because we think skilling is the future when it comes to coffee. You put the skill out, then the industry will surely absorb. So we are also in the pipeline. We have a skill development cell coming out at Coffee Board, both the quality division and of course the AIC and the entire Coffee Board.
So this is the future vision of what?
It is one of the.
One of.
I won't say this is it. It's we have multiple areas we have to focus on. So the Coffee Board not only focuses on this training, skilling, we have the farm aspects. Our growers are the biggest stakeholders. So we focus on that as well. Training the growers, giving them. I spoke about the Know Your Kapi campaign, right? Which is very different, which we want them to be more involved. They are always left out. We are only looking at the final cup. You're enjoying your cold coffee now, and you're only looking at that. You don't know where it came from and the effort that has gone behind that cup. So that's what we want to highlight, give them their due, give them the skill to produce better tasting coffees.
So in simple words, we can tell that it's like a 360-degree
thing which the Coffee Board focuses on. We have a research wing, we have an extension wing. So the research wing, of course, works on research aspects which are disseminated into the field through the extension stuff. Okay, that is what we have in every coffee growing region in India. We have a Coffee Board office where the extension officers work closely. Other than these training programs, we also give a little bit of subsidies or financial aid to help them improve infrastructure, for improving the planting material and things like that. The research division also has developed 13 varieties of Arabica coffee now, which do well in the Indian scenario. And we also have 3 varieties of Robusta which have been introduced. We have certain clones now which we have produced which are better yielding, better cup quality wise. Now we're going to be celebrating the 100th year of Coffee Board.
Centenary
Celebration this year. It'll happen in October at CCRI, where we'll be launching about 4 or 5 new varieties of Arabica as well, and certain cloned Robustas as well. That's part of this thing, and highlighting all what we are doing and what we plan to do in the future. So this is on the whole the courses and what we are working on in general.
So, sir, what all the services does Coffee Board provides to the stakeholders in the farm?
So we have a whole array of services. It all the way starts from the farmer, which is, like I said, he is the base of whatever we do when it comes. He's the majority of our stakeholders. It ends up all the way up to the skilling to the last entrepreneur, if I can call it, in the entire value chain. It starts from the planter, the grower, the exporter, the trader, maybe in between all this, then the roaster, the exporter, importer, the cafe owner, and to the final consumer. So we look after all this. Like I said, the Coffee Board's role is more of a facilitator now rather than a regulator per se. So we have a whole array of services. When it comes to the farm sector, we have a research farm which does a lot of research on various aspects. Let it be from the planting material. We issue seed material when it comes to Arabica coffee to the farmers on the whole. If there is a pest emergence, we give advisories on a regular basis and curtail it. We also, if there's a farmer who has a problem on his farm and he doesn't know how to address it, our field staff or our extension staff will go to his farm, evaluate the situation and give him the best remedy. We also have soil testing facilities, leaf analysis at the farm level, at the research departments, which are very important for the overall coffee ecosystem per se. Moving beyond that, we also have certain services we provide in terms of having some more skilling programs or certification programs. Of late, we've collaborated with the Coffee Quality Institute and we run these queue processing programs. So in CCRI, we have a certified queue processing venue. This is how to process your coffee post-harvest to help improve the quality overall and the cup characters overall, which is gaining a lot of importance with specialty coffee gaining.
So the queue processing is like giving knowledge to the
growers. It is a certification as well,
Okay.
which you get from a Coffee Quality Institute of America. What we do as Coffee Board is we facilitate the entire program, we coordinate it, and we subsidize it.
Okay.
Of course, you have to pay a small fee, but we literally take almost 50% of the cost of it. These are slightly expensive courses because they're really good at what they do. So this is one more thing other than the services we provide, the skilling aspect when it comes to the farmers. Moving on, we also move on and give services in terms of coming specifically to the quality division. We give every service post-harvest, be it grading your green coffee beets, be it roasting it and evaluating it for its cup characters, be it moisture determination in terms of what is the moisture content in your beans, which is important to this. Then be it grading of coffees into the different grades and giving you a report per se.
Correct.
Then we have services which we provide in terms of not only cupping, we have, like you saw, the e-nose and the e-tan. We can give you a little more structured data in terms of the chemical composition, the aroma profiles, the taste profiles of coffee. We can give you, when it comes to the brewing aspects, the brewing, the grind size, which is important during brewing for a particular equipment, for a particular brewing method. We give you that particle size distribution, be it the density of the beans, the color of a roast,
Correct.
water activity, which is gaining a lot of importance, lot of importers asking us for water activity reports. All these services is what we give at the sensory lab. Additional to this, we have one more service we provide of calibrating the moisture meters in the country. We have moisture meters to check for moisture percentages. All the moisture meters need to be calibrated on a regular basis. So the poppy board is authorized to calibrate these moisture meters, of course, as a service for a small service fee. And we get thousands of meters from across the country which get calibrated here, so that at least you have uniform moisture readings across the segment.
So I think all of this will help the first gen grower. For example, if I am a first gen grower, I do not know anything technical about the coffee. I can come up to coffee board and ask.
Yeah, you can do one of the courses. Maybe the Kapi Shastra is a good stepping stone, beyond which you also get an idea of all the services we offer. Of course, all our services are listed on the Coffee Board websites. We have a whole list of services. We are also a certified laboratory. We are an ISO IEC 17025 certified laboratory. In other terms, an NABL accredited laboratory for testing services per se. Other than this, what we provide to the growers, for an exporter's perspective, there are a lot of tests he needs to do in terms of pesticide residue analysis, heavy metals, maybe toxin analysis. All these are done at our analytical laboratory downstairs.
So this NABL is both for the sensory and for the analytical, both, or is it like?
In our case, we have our NABL accreditation both for sensory and for the analytical services. Generally, NABL accreditation is for analytical.
Yeah, so that's why I asked it. Like, is it for sensory or is it?
We have, I think it's another feather on our caps that we have our lab accredited for sensory as well. The organoleptic evaluation of coffee specifically, and of course the physical grading of coffee as well, which is, I think, one of the only in Asia, or one of the only few in the world I can.
Correct.
So that is one small distinction, and that service is freely available for everybody. Of course, for a small service fee, very subsidized. So moving back to the analytical aspects, we do pesticide residue analysis, heavy metals, toxins, which certain importing countries ask for, and we can provide all those services as well out here at the quality review. These are, in a broad sense, what services we provide with coffee.
This looks very interesting. What it is, ma'am? Please tell me.
This is a procedure, one of our service providing a coffee quality division here. So this is actually physical analysis.
Okay.
These are the seeds which you can see in front of you, graded according to the sizes from 6.75 to 5. So these are actually the seeds where you can grade the coffee.
Okay.
So we take 300 grams of coffee for physical analysis, and you pour that coffee into these sieves. Some of the coffee grains will be returned on the sieves. So based on the weight of how much the beans are retained on the sieves, we grade them as W, A, or A and B grade for the lower grades.
Okay.
Okay, and we get coffee samples from the growers actually who want their moisture or physical analysis to be done.
Okay.
So we receive those samples and first go for moisture.
Okay.
Moisture analysis. For this moisture content, we take 180 grams of coffee, like that particular sample what we got from the grower.
Okay.
And then for this moisture analysis, we can get 180 grams of coffee. Just pour it into this hopper kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just press this thing.
Okay.
It'll just settle over there. So as you can see, just put it on 3 and then check the water, moisture content in the coffee bean.
Okay.
So when you can just find out the green coffee bean moisture content.
Now that we have seen our sensory and roasting laboratory, so now I will take you to the analytical laboratory of Coffee Board. So here we are doing more scientific and analytical activities in terms of testing the pesticides, heavy metals in coffee. So this is our analytical lab. Come, let's go. This is the analytical lab I was talking to you about, and she's Dr. Tilottama Hundoy. She is heading this laboratory, and from now she'll take it forward.
Welcome to Analytical and Microbiology Laboratory. Myself, Dr. Tilottama Hundoy, working as a subject matter specialist since 10 years, and we are mostly working on the chemical analysis of all the coffee sample, including the soluble coffee and liquid coffee and RNG coffee. So these are my teams. So let them introduce by themselves.
I'm Chaitra. I'm technical assistant in analytical and microbiology laboratory.
I'm Lavanya. I'm technical assistant in analytical laboratory.
Myself, Shruti S, working as a technical assistant in analytical lab.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ರಘು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ MTS ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್.
ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಕೃಷ್ಣಕುಮಾರ.
Lavanya, as we are in the analytical lab, take us through, what is the protein machine or like how all this machine is used in the coffee testing. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the Geldel unit. It is for the estimation of the protein content in the coffee powder of all matrices like instant coffee chicory, roasted and ground coffee chicory. It is made by Gerhard. So basically, estimation of protein includes 3 steps. First will be the digestion, distillation and titration. So this is the first step, that is the digestion. Here we'll be treating the sample with concentrated hydrochloric acid as well as a catalyst. Here what happens is the nitrogen containing compounds is being converted into ammonium solvent. This is the first step. And then second we have the distillation process. In the distillation process, the ammonium salts is being converted into ammonia. And the third we have the titration, where the sample is being titrated against 0.1 normal hydrochloric acid, and that will determine the amount of nitrogen present in the coffee powder. So for the calculation, we can determine the protein percentage.
So this machine will detect the percentage of protein content in the coffee. Okay. Yeah, as we completed the protein section, so next we are moving into a machine where she will be explaining what it does and how it is going to help in the coffee.
Okay, this is a sock slit unit. It is for the estimation of the fat content. It is also Gerhard made only. Okay, here what happens is that we'll be treating the sample as well as the solvent. Solvent is the petroleum ether in the fat extractor. This will be the fat extractor. Here we'll be adding our sample as well as the petroleum ether, and then we'll be placing in the fat extraction unit. Okay, and then we'll be heating the entire device. Once the solvent is heated up, it will rise to the pipe, and then it will condense into liquid, and then it will drop back into the same extractor. This whole procedure is connected to a software, that is a SOXTherm unit.
So all the data readings will get it.
This is all like we have set the pressure, temperature and everything. So according to that, this will also function. So after this, we'll be placing the fat extractor in the oven for about 1 hour, and further it is being done, calculations will be done, and the fat content can be estimated in the coffee powder.
So yeah, Lavanya, moving on, I want to ask you, how do you test the caffeine levels in coffee, and what is the machines that undergo in this process? So let me know.
So the caffeine content will be done by HPLC, that is nothing but high performance liquid chromatography. This is an analytical technique which is used to separate, quantify and identify the specific components in the mixture. So basically here what do we do is, here we have a column. So the separation takes place in this column between the mobile and the stationary phase. So the mobile phase will be the liquid, and the stationary phase will be the inside the column. Okay, this will react with the sample substances also. The sample will be placed in this vial. Okay, and then here and we have a pump here. This is the pump. This will provide the force for the mobile phase to flow into the column. Okay, and then we have an injector which will introduce this sample into the mobile phase. So basically after everything, we'll be getting the substances will be detected in the specific detector, and then the chromatogram will be displayed.
Okay, the graph.
The graph. And this graph will give us the identification and quantification of the compounds. And we are doing HPLC for analysis of caffeine, similarly for ochratoxin and chlorogenic acid also.
So how does this lab act as an important sector in coffee industry?
So, and in lab, we are dealing with the rhizosphere microbes isolation from the coffee sample. Rhizosphere is the soil which is present in the root of plant. So we'll collect the soil, we'll take it to the lab in a sterilized polythene bag, and we'll do the test here, so that after the isolation, we'll keep it in incubator. After 2 days, we'll get a growth of microbes. From that, we'll purify it and we'll go for the further test.
Okay, so then how does this lab act as main component in the coffee industry? For example, like you said, this is a very important process for coffee to go through. So to add on to that, you can elaborate.
Yeah, actually coffee will be roasted to the highest temperature usually for RNG coffee and all if we go. So the microorganisms growth will be lesser in that. It will
So
be like
heat
it
is
will
more
Yes,
microorganisms.
because it will be heated to a maximum temperature. So microorganisms we can't expect that much, but we can expect in a green coffee because it will not be, maybe the processing and all will be happen. Even though in green coffee we can expect little than the roasted coffee. And in the market nowadays you might have heard the cold brews.
Yeah, it's a trend now.
Cold brews will be very good, we'll tell, because microbes will not come in deep freezer if you place or refrigerate if you place. It will not come. It is not like that. Some of the psychrophilic microorganisms, it is like they love cold temperatures, like even below 5 degrees Celsius. Some of
They can still survive.
Yeah, they can. They love cold environment.
Okay.
So like that microorganisms also will come in the cold brews. So we are dealing mainly with that type of works here. Even in liquid coffee or as well as the roasted coffee, not only the beneficial microorganisms will be having a pathogens as well. We can't say by saying the colony of microbes it is a pathogen or it is a beneficial. So for that also we have a sophisticated instrument. We'll go through that now. Yeah, this is actually a Vidas Vitech room what we are placing here, and it is little clean room concept we maintained here. You can come inside.
So why is it very isolated, like kept up?
Because it is first of all the contaminated things will be there. The sample should not get contaminated as well. And this is the Vidas instrument, and it is the biomerics made from. And it works on the principle of alpha. You might have heard about the ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, one of the principle it is. So it works with the combination of infrared radiation, like fluorescent radiation. This is the Vidas instrument from Biomerics make, and here mainly the instrument uses, it will screen the pathogens. If any pathogen is there, just a screening mechanism based on some of the biochemical test. That's all. And these are the sample holders here. We used to keep the sample holders, and in the first hole we used to place the samples, and along with that some of the SPR cards will be there. This SPR will act as a pipette. It will take the sample and
Send it to the machine.
it will send it to the incubation and analyzer, so that inside the incubation it will get analyzed based on the biochemical test and it will give the result. So in this instrument the main advantage is extra reagents are not required, as the sample holder is having the reagents which is required for the particular test. So no need of external reagents as well, no wastage also. So, and these are the single time usage. Once it is done we can discard the thing. This instrument will get the screening. And the one more is there, this is the Vitech 2. In this we'll get to identify the organisms or the bacteria which it is, particularly which based on the 16S RNA, the DNA sequencing, we'll get which of the microorganisms which is present.
So it's like it is detecting the family of the...
Yeah. There we'll get a screen based on the biochemical test. This might be there.
Here you're finding the family of it.
Here it will be confirmed this microorganism identification. So here also we'll be having some cards. In that 64 wells will be there. In that all the wells will be having different tests. So if we keep a single organism, it will detect all the 64 wells, all the tests, and it will identify based on that. And basically this is the food pathogen detecting instrument.
So no pathogen can escape from this. Will be identified.
Samples we can do. Understood. Because nowadays the market is having the biggest task is the cold brew, having some of the contaminations and all. So we can come across this. But basically the microbiology lab we established here, the main motto of this lab.
So this is the microbe digestion system for the analysis of the heavy metals and minerals present in the not only coffee sample, in different biological samples. So this is the sample preparation. So here we have the different matters. We can choose coffee, rice, or whatever we want. We can select. But for here this lab we are only using the coffee sample for the analysis. So we will select the coffee matter, and we have this is the sample digestion system. Here we will take the 0.1 gram of coffee sample and we use the high purity grade nitric acid. So we will add it and then we'll keep it the system and we'll choose the matter for the coffee. then it will take hardly 1 hour to analyze. Normally, if you go to traditional method, it takes more than 6 hours. So you can't wait for the long time. So this is a very sophisticated instrument. So this is supplied by the Perkin-Elmer. So here, within a very short period of time, we can digest the sample and we will get the clear sample. So next step, I'll show you how you will analyze the heavy metal in the coffee sample. This is all about the microwave digestion.
Yes, ma'am. After the sample has been gotten here, and how is this machine going to analyze the samples? You can.
Okay, after the digestion, we will get a very clear. You know, the coffee, you will get the brown color solution. But after digestion with nitric acid, you will get a clear solution like this. So after that, this is a we will keep the sample here. Then software is there. And what happened, this is the ICP-MS. So it is a Perkin-Elmer make. So we can detect all the heavy metals and elements, whatever they are in the periodic table. You can analyze very short period of time. So what we will do here, the main source is the plasma. So plasma will be ignited at very high temperature, so that whatever the heavy metals and minerals are present, they will make the ion fragmentation. After the ionization, the detector is there. This is called MS detector. So it will detect the whatever the
Ions are present in the
in-
solution.
according to the minerals or whatever the metals are there. So it will detect and you will get that based on the linearity. We can calculate that how much minerals and heavy metal present in our sample. So within a very short, within 1 minute, we will get the one sample the results.
And that mass we can be
Lighter
analyzed.
objects will be
Yeah.
above and heavier
Yeah.
will be below. Okay.
So accordingly, we with the help of software, we can just integrate it,
Okay.
and we'll be able to quantify the concentration of. First, we are using pesticide for analysis. We will be able to find the concentration of pesticide. In coffee, for example, I am taking hexaconazole. That is one pesticide. So the concentration in ppm/ppb level can be identified using this instrument. Okay, let me take you to another instrument in analytical lab, that is GCMS. This is the explanation: gas chromatography, mass spectrometry. So again, the principle is same as the LCMS. Only part is here the difference is gas. Okay, gas will be used for the separation. Then we can go and see the parts of this instrument. So this is the GC part. This is the MS part. Here is where the separation happens. Here is where the identification happens. This is the place where we used to keep our samples. Nearly 150 samples you can load at a time. And this is the syringe where the injection happens. And this will go to the column where the separation has to be taken place. And the separation for going inside, it will make use of helium and the hydrogen gas. So as the name suggests, you'll get to know, right? Gas is anywhere required. So this is the column where the separation happens. This one. Once it has been separated, you will get a chromatogram which will show the type in which the separation happened.
So there will be a graph.
Yes, that will be in the software. Okay, and once it has been separated, again that same ionized part should go to the mass. Masses will tell the chemical properties of the components. Here also we are estimating pesticides in coffee and coffee products like hexaconazole, chlorpyrifos, monocrotophos. These are some of the pesticides which we are analyzing here.
So this is all about all the facilities available in analytical and microbiology laboratories. So I am happy to share you that we got last year only our analytical and microbiology, and along with the sensory lab is accredited with NABL as per ISO 17025. So for the few FSSAI parameters, including all the nutritional parameters. So we are in the process of extending our scope to other parameters like residue analysis and heavy metal, and also microbiological tests. So this is all about our analytical lab, and our exporters and growers also using our facilities. So this is all about, and thank you for visiting us, and we are ready to welcome you for using our facilities. Thank you.